I'm here with an NXT UK review. It's been forever since I've done a review on this channel, and a weird episode of NXT UK to start doing weekly reviews on because it's not the biggest banger of episode. Maybe last week's the Meiko Satomura match would have been better, a fantastic match, but this was still a really fun episode. I think NXT UK is my favourite piece of weekly wrestling. It is maybe because I am British, so it's kind of my style that I like. But let's jump into the review. It was a very fun week's episode. I mean, as someone who used to dip in and out of NXT UK, I kind of had to catch up on a couple of the beats. But I'm excited to keep on watching these and keep on doing weekly reviews, so I hope you guys enjoy them. So let's just jump right into it. We're kicking off with the Heritage Cup rules match with Tyler Bate versus Bomber Dave Mastiff. I mean, I'm going to break it down round by round. Obviously, Heritage Cup rules, 6 rounds, 3 minutes each, 2 pinfalls in the 6 rounds, you win. If you don't get 2 falls in 6 rounds, it goes to sudden death. So let's go off. The first round of the match was kind of just a lot of like them getting into it, kind of what you'd see in a regular match, like 3 minutes of good technical wrestling. No one really got too much of an upper hand there, so it was fun. I mean, yeah, this round was mostly technical, mat-based, wrist locks, very British style wrestling. To me, I'm always wowed watching any NXT UK match. It's all very technical. I'll get into it later on in the episode. Round 2, Mastiff is really working over Tyler Bates' arm. I mean, I guess not only is the idea that Mastiff is so big and heavy, it'd be hard for Tyler. If you take out his arms, it takes out some of his strength. But Tyler manages to get a kind of a roll-up pin. He goes to do a sunset flip off the second rope, gets Mastiff over, he struggles and gets Mastiff over, gets him rolled up for a 3 count. Really great, a good way of getting a pinfall for a smaller guy and a larger opponent. Round 2, you got Tyler trying to go for it early. He's trying to use his power moves. He gets Mastiff up for the airplane. Mastiff then reverses it really smoothly, but it was really fast. I'm like, oh shit, did Tyler... the angle they showed makes it look like Tyler hit his head, but I'm pretty sure he probably tucked. I'm always very wary about wrestlers' heads. I'm scared they're going to hurt themselves. He gets a crucifix pin on Tyler for 3, so great round there. I mean, it showed off some of Mastiff's agility and also some of Tyler's hubris with his strength, although he's kind of meant to be this Taoist guy who's meant to be over his hubris, but it kind of was seeping in round 3. Round 4, Mastiff just wrecks Tyler. I mean, I got some notes here, Mastiff goes in with body slams, he goes in with Beals, he hits him with I don't know, like a power bomb. I don't remember what Nigel called it. I think he called it a kamikaze smash. It was brutal. And then they go on the outside, and Mastiff bullies Tyler outside, throwing him into the ring, into the railings. It looks like they use the metal railings. Back and forth, just wrecking Tyler's back. Again, showing it's going to hurt and Tyler's ability to lift Mastiff, because Tyler's a big, strong boy. God, I can't believe he's younger than me. Yeah, and then Tyler's on the outside of the ring. Mastiff's trying to go for that count-out point, but Tyler gets in at 3.5, obviously for the drama. And then Mastiff is just continuously trying to pin Tyler, and then it gets to a 2 count, and Tyler just kicks out, and then the timer goes off for round 4. So Mastiff isn't able to pick up the victory. And then we move on to round 5. Again, Mastiff starts off strong. Tyler can barely stand because his back's been destroyed. And then basically Mastiff is going for, at least a while ago, his finisher was the cannonball in the corner. So he's running for the cannonball. Tyler gets up and he does his flip over kick. He flips and kicks Mastiff in the head. It's beautiful to watch whenever he does it. That staggers Mastiff. Tyler gets up, hits a big clothesline, and then gets Mastiff up. Oh, I forgot. To get Tyler into that corner, Mastiff hits a massive release German suplex. I love release German suplexes. But yeah, anyway, Tyler gets him up. He managed to get Mastiff up for the airplane, which is amazing because obviously the entire match, Mastiff has been taking out a lot of Tyler's strength. So he manages to get him up and does the airplane, and then airplane spin, then he hits him with a massive clothesline, and then Tyler gets to the top rope and hits a corkscrew senton, which looks beautiful. I can't believe one of the wrestlers can pull off moves like that, but it was a beautiful corkscrew senton, and then he gets the 3 count. It's like at 3.5 Mastiff kicks out. But again, it shows Tyler's like making his comeback, obviously after his loss to a kid, and then Noam Dar kind of jamming and drawing at him, but it's kind of showing he's getting his build back, and we see Tyler Bate later on in the episode, which we'll get to. After this, you get to see a video package / interview of Mandrews and Flash Morgan Webster versus Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams. It kind of touches on Kenny Williams being a little bit heelish, and then Mandrews and Flash Morgan Webster being like, we're the best tag team in NXT UK, although they're not champions, obviously. And that's setting up for their match later on today in the episode. And then there is a vignette for Aoife Valkyrie. It is beautifully done. I'm hyped. Like, again, someone who was dipping in and out of NXT UK. First time of me seeing the vignette, looks great. So I'm really excited. And then there's like what I thought was going to be a squash match, because it was Danny Jones versus the debuting Teoman, so Lucky Kid from Germany. Danny Jones got the jobber entrance, so I was like, oh, he's going to get squashed. But this match went a good few minutes. It wasn't too long, and Teoman was in control for most of this match. And he was like, obviously very heelish throughout. But Danny Jones got a good few licks in. He hit a backstabber at one point. He got some good forearms in. But whenever Danny Jones was starting to get on a roll, Teoman would basically just not cheat, but be kind of dirty with some of his moves. So he'd like get his leg over the rope, and then kind of as Danny Jones was releasing the hold, he'd elbow him, or he did this amazing like hit the rope, running in, and drop kick into Danny Jones's leg. Again, not cheating, but kind of not a move you'd see a face do. So I really enjoyed that. Match ended with Teoman goes to the top rope, hits a diving missile drop kick into Danny Jones's back. Then he like just viciously like double stomps on Danny Jones's back, I think twice, maybe 3 times. Then he puts him in the crossface, and Danny Jones taps really quickly. I'm always a bit like, ugh, crossface as a finisher, gotta harken back to someone. But obviously, you know, it was a compelling debut, and it's like, oh, okay, this guy's a good heel. It'd be interesting to see where he goes. Obviously, the Heritage Cup is kind of like the Intercontinental title, so the kind of you're not like heavyweight champion, you're not going for the NXT UK championship, but you're kind of going for this middle ground, and then you've got the cruiserweight stuff on the side, which the cruiserweight stuff at the moment is amazing, because we move on swiftly. Actually, it's not yet, but up next you see kind of like I'm not sure if it's a vignette, but like earlier this week, obviously you see Zaya Williams and Nina Samuels. Zaya Williams, yeah. I think it's Zaya Lee. No, Zaya Lee. I'm getting confused. You know, Zaya and Nina Samuels. Nina Samuels is her personal assistant, and it's just like a little funny vignette, almost video package, I'll go with, of like She's like, oh, I've made all this mess. Nina, clean it up. And then Nina Samuels is like cleaning up her room and doing her dishes. And then she realizes, oh, there's a dishwasher, so I don't have to do these dirty dishes. And also, she just kind of puts the dishes on the side. Like, she's not put it on like a dish strainer. So it's kind of like the water's just going to pool there. It's not really going to, but I digress. And then there's like this really well done video package / vignette. Obviously, again, I've been dipping in and out of NXT UK, so I didn't really have the full context, but it was Eddie Dennis and Wild Boar. Obviously, in the street fight, Wild Boar kind of stepped out, and Eddie Dennis and Primate got wrecked by Flash Morgan Webster and Mandrews. So it's kind of like Eddie Dennis is like, you turned your back on us. Very like, gave me shades of Kane / what was the stable Killian Dane was in? Big Damer. I can't remember what stable he was in with the guy who's now in Impact. Oh my god, I've forgotten. But Eric Young's stable. I don't remember. But yeah, that was it. Kind of disruption. I don't remember. Sanity's it's like a Sanity promo. Like very like grungy. There was fire. I mean, Nigel referenced it later. And then my second favorite promo vignette was Gallus in a pub. Well, like a snooker bar. It's like, we've got to show everyone what Gallus really is. It's really well shot. Not like the long shot kind of was a bit far, could have been further in, but like very cinematic. Like whoever does the vignettes for NXT UK is a good filmmaker. But yeah, then we move on to a tag team match. I love tag team wrestling. Tag team wrestling is my favorite wrestling. Obviously, Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan versus Mandrews and Flash Morgan Webster. The story of this match was essentially Kenny Williams getting frustrated with Amir Jordan and Amir Jordan not wanting to be a heel. Flash Morgan Webster and Mandrews are great as always. Like, I'm kind of in two minds when it comes to my tag team wrestling. Either like old school tag team wrestling, kind of what FTR do now, and also I love stuff like what Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan does, like junior heavyweight type tag team wrestling. I'm kind of in two minds of which one I like more, but they're obviously great. I love their gear, especially Flash Morgan Webster's. His jacket and trousers, beautiful. But yeah, so Flash Morgan Webster, Flash Morgan Webster and Kenny Williams start the match. Very technical, back and forth. Amir Jordan comes in after getting the tag. And kind of throughout this match, Amir Jordan loses any advantage he and Kenny build. So Kenny will will tag in. He'll go hard on Flash and Mandrews. He's like very aggressive. Then he tags Amir Jordan in, and then he just doesn't. He loses that aggressive advantage Kenny got, and like you can see Kenny getting frustrated when he's on the rope. He's like, he just wants to tag in because he's like, I'm going to be aggressive. I want to mess these guys up. And this kind of plays in later on into the match. So later on, Flash Morgan Webster and Kenny Williams are in the match. Kenny he's in a headlock with Flash. He kind of pushes him into Amir Jordan. It's kind of played that Amir doesn't realize this. This is also after Mandrews has gone on a run, like doing I think he did a moonsault to the outside. Beautiful. Well, from the apron. It was beautiful. But then Kenny Williams is going for the tag. He's like, oh, I'm hurting. I need to get a tag in. And then you've got no partner there. And then Flash Morgan Webster and Mandrews are really, really taking it to Kenny. But Kenny managed to kick out with some help from Amir Jordan. I think they take out Mandrews. So then it's just Flash Morgan Webster and Amir Jordan, sorry, Flash Morgan Webster and Kenny Williams in the match with Amir Jordan on the ringside. I think Webster's got his arms around Kenny Williams' waist in the back. So Kenny Williams is like, he's trying to escape. He walks into the ref. Whilst his mouth is bleeding, Kenny Williams' mouth always like seems to bleed. Like the ref is distracted. He's like, "Don't touch me," and then he hits Flash Morgan Webster with the low blow. Amir Jordan said like, "What are you doing? I didn't want you to do this. We're not meant to be heels." Kenny's like in his head, "No, we are gonna be heels." Then I don't know what it's called, but it's kind of like a forward face plant, kind of like Jon Moxley's old finisher in the WWE, but more aggressive. Hits that, gets 3. Kenny Williams doesn't celebrate. He's just kind of like, "We won." Amir Jordan's like, "I didn't want to win like that." I'm like, "We won." Like, the ref raises their hands, like, he puts his hand up and says, "Yeah, I won, but I didn't want to win like this," and he's arguing with Kenny Williams as they go into the back. So, my feeling is either they're both gonna turn heel, so like, Kenny Williams is gonna keep doing this until Amir Jordan is like, "You know what, no, this does work," and then maybe they'll pick up those titles, or it's just gonna lead to maybe they'll get a title shot, Amir Jordan will eat the pin, and then Kenny Williams will turn on him. I think that'll probably be the way they go with it. Kind of depends what they want to do with the tag team division, because they've got quite a few tag teams there. So we'll have to see. Up next, there's like a video package on Ilya Dragunov. You know, he's kind of gone into this, I call it the Kota Ibushi state, where he kind of goes nuts and just wrecks everyone, tries to attack a ref, etc. So then it's like, "He'll speak next week." And then, I mean, I'm going to just skip over the Trenty one, because it's like, then Walter has one where he's like, "Walter will speak next week." I'm like, okay, sure. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed a promo. There were so many vignettes and promos here. There was an Amel promo, where the French lady, who, it was very French inspired. It'll be interesting to see what they do with the women's division. They need someone to like take the belt, not now to take the belt off Kaylee Ray, but they need to build someone. Like, I thought Meiko Satomura would be the person they'd build to do that, but I know Meiko's there as more of a trainer, and they're going to use her sometimes as a wrestler. So I'm not exactly sure who they're going to build to take that belt off Kaylee Ray. They're kind of building Amel. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. They're kind of building her as a heel. At least I can get from that promo. Or it might just be because she's French. You know, if she's French by default, she's a heel, I think. Especially if there were crowds, she would be booed for being French. But anyway, going back to it, the Trenty promo. Love the Trent vignettes and promos. Like, even though, again, watching In and Out, I've always been watching these Trenty ones of Trent trying to get down to 205. And it's amazing because the way they're playing it, it's like, yeah, Trent's definitely going to hit 205. And in my head, the story should be he's doing all this training, but he doesn't hit 205. Like, he's like 220, but he still gets the match with Jordan Devlin. In my head, I'm like, that's a good story. That's like funny and entertaining. Like, if you want to go funny, he's put on weight, but he's like gotten jacked, like he's muscle weight. Or it's like a little bit like, oh, I almost got to 205. Because Trent's like a tall and a big, like he's like broad and tall. Like, that's kind of his thing for me. I mean, if he gets to 205, it'll be interesting if they somehow get him to 205, but I think it would be cool if he's like 210, 215, maybe 220 something probably. Yeah, then they're like, but then Devlin will still have the match with him. I don't know how they would kind of swing getting the Cruiserweight title on him, but we'll see. But yeah, and then between that and the Walter promo, there was a, I think his name was Nathan Fraser, the like American British kid who was playing football in the US and is here as a cruiserweight. Again, not really been watching NXT UK, just been keeping up with the results. I'm pretty sure I had a match with Jordan Devlin where he like was spectacular. So interesting. A lot of video packages. It feels like they're really ramping up to like, obviously here in the UK, the hope is by June 20th will be opened up. So June 20th, and I checked, they look like they're scheduled to do a show in Ireland on June 21st is the schedule at the moment. I don't know if that's got to go ahead. Depends on the Irish government, I suppose. But who knows? Maybe I'll try and swing going there, seeing what COVID's like in Ireland. I probably won't though. But anyway, we'll move on to the main event, which was the first ever mixed tag match or intergender tag match in NXT UK. Ginny and Joseph Connors versus Piper Niven, Viper, and Jack Stars. To start this off, I absolutely love Joseph Connor and Ginny's trash talk in the ring. I remember Joseph Connors when NXT UK first started. He was kind of like there. He was like losing wrestler for a big part. But like him and Ginny have great chemistry. Like he's great at trash talking. Ginny obviously has always been great at trash talking. So like they're very kind of scummy in this match. Like Piper Niven and Ginny are meant to start. Piper Niven wants to get her hands on Ginny, and Ginny's like, "Are you thick? Are you thick?" And just tags in Joseph Connors, and Joseph Connors being a right old dickhead, and he's like, "Get out the ring, get out. We can't fight. Get Jack Stars in." And kind of throughout this match, it's basically Joseph Connors trying to stop Jack Stars getting a tag to Piper Niven to like keep her and Ginny away from one another. Obviously, for the most part he succeeds, but I think on 2 or 3 occasions, Ginny and Piper Niven face off. When they're facing off, it's mostly Piper Niven in control, with Ginny kind of getting some shots in, being a little bit heelish. But for the most part, it's Joseph Connors and Jack Stars, which is kind of the thing you kind of makes sense because you want to keep the Ginny and Piper Niven thing for a big blow off. So there's a cool spot where like Jack Stars is leapfrogging over Joseph Connors. Joseph Connor goes down. Jack Star goes for a body press. He misses, rolls outside. He misses. Connors like kind of does a sliding bulldog. So Jack Stars. Oh, this might be in the wrong part, but he does the sliding bulldog. So Jack Stars is draping over the apron, and Ginny does like a cartwheel kick to his head. Super cool, very heelish. I think later is the thing where Jack Stars misses the crossbody, rolls to the outside of the ring. Ginny's going to attack her, and then Piper Niven comes to intervene and square off, and then Joseph Connors just like gets in the middle. And he's just been a right dickhead about it. It's like I kind of like this Joseph Connors. So they're back in the ring. I think Piper Niven, somehow Ginny gets into the match. Her and Piper are fighting. Then Joseph Connors tags himself in. He's kind of drawing at Piper Niven. Jack Star comes in, takes out Joseph Connors. Ginny comes in. Piper Niven gets her in one corner. Jack Star gets Joseph Connors in the other corner. They do dual cannonballs into each of them, and then Ginny kind of rolls out the ring. Then Jack Star throws Joseph Connors into Piper Niven, who hits a Piper, call it a Piper driver. I'm pretty sure it's a Michinoku driver, but I'm not 100% on that. And then for the finish, she gets Jack Stars on her shoulders and kind of like press slams him onto Joseph Connors and gets the 3. It's a great end, and kind of obviously because Piper Niven and Ginny are the main part of this feud, it kind of like puts the shine on Piper Niven whilst getting Jack Starr's win in his book. Nigel is upset. He's like, that's cheating, that's against the rules. Piper put her hands on Joseph Connors. And it's like, she like Michinoku drived that dude. It was sick. So it was a fun main event. It went a few minutes over. I watched it on the network. I don't know what it was like on BT Sports. Maybe BT Sports had the overrun. I don't know, maybe, because I know I'm pretty sure NXT UK is filmed in advance, so maybe they cut some stuff, maybe a couple of the promos, or maybe I doubt they'd cut Teoman's debut, Lucky Kid's debut, but I'm pretty sure they probably cut maybe a couple of those promos. But it was great fun. It went like 7 minutes over the hour, but still, like an hour of fun wrestling is great. It's the only wrestling show I'll probably watch during the week, unless it's like something old or I have free time on the weekends. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoy NXT UK. Please leave comments down below if you want me to talk anything in particular on the episodes. Do you want me to be more in depth? Do you want me to give more of my opinion on stuff? Do you want more play-by-play? Let me know. Yeah, please subscribe. I will endeavour to be doing weekly NXT UK videos, and then also I'll probably put out maybe a short form video in between during the week. But yeah, I want you guys to dictate, anyone who sees this, to dictate where this channel goes, how I go about doing these wrestling videos. So thank you. Let me do that old catchphrase. You've been kayfabed? Yeah? No? Not good? We'll see if I put that intro at the beginning. Bye. It's late. I gotta edit this.